the rest of their team really early on in the map, pushing through into this jungle. How they're going to position themselves and how Synergy are going to play differently to the way they normally would. Obviously, you know, we spoke to Mort earlier on as well. And how well he's
mine. All 5 pushing out into this lane.
Into a lane though as well. I mean, they're watching around the gold buff right now. Oh my good lord!
I don't think Nick realized how close he is to death.
Oh, blimey, O'Reilly! No, he is gone. He is absolutely gone there, and that's an early pickup. They've got ward. Wow. They didn't have a ward in that position there at all. In fact, they've got wards, but like in everywhere, in all the good positions. Only 2 in 2 great positions, but not on that side. Clickcast obviously watching out as well. It's like a ward game, you know, planting out those wards so early, and then backing if they should so need, which we've seen from multiple players today as well. They need to be so careful. Obviously, the respawn is out, but he's come back into the jungle. But we're going to see, obviously, that this team is ahead now, of course, with that first kill.
Kind of seeing the opposite roles, because we usually know Carbon is more of a tactical, not so aggressive, but really good maintenance of their lanes, and pushing the advantage when they have it. Whereas we see Synergy tend to be more sort of a use this word like the death ball, where they sort of group up and sort of hunt for those kills. Whereas a bit of a role reversal so early in the game. Whereas Synergy take the sort of safe line, go out into their lanes, and Nick gets picked off there.
And having a look over on this team of Carbon. I mean, did we even mention this? I mean, let's see who's playing what. Rustress is on Quang. Undead Pilot is on Gadget. Shaddon is on the Decker. Ace of Spades is on the Chimera. And Yo, I'm Mikey is on the mid laner of Gideon. Haven't even talked about the missing thing, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't even talk about that.
With the ability to cast us to burst so well, it's something we're seeing a bit more, that they're acting as a carry, sort of a faux carry, if you were.
But even Chimera, I mean, maybe is he almost acting like a carry as well in a way?
I mean, this early game, he's going to be looking to be a damage dealer, but you know, that's where the burst is going to come from those 2 casters. Basically, you're going to see the burst come out from Mikey and Undead Pilot.
See, and the longer the game goes on, maybe you could favor the carry, Emrak, actually, in team fights if they're able to, you know, keep equal and they can get their carry ahead. Maybe, you know, that's something we could look out for. Here we go. Looks like, oh no, yo, Mikey. Oh, that mine almost pulled him back. That was fantastic from Mort there. Unlucky, dude. That was really, really nice mine. Good idea. Almost done it as well, and Mikey was almost punished for that movement there, but in the end he did get out, so you could say, you know, he was absolutely fine. And shut up, Jebro. But hey ho, the Mario.
Yeah, the thing is with them using these casters as carries, they've got the longer range that they have, so that the carries, even though they're really lethal in that sort of medium range, the casters can poke from further and just apply that damage, especially on inhibitors. They can hit from further away and really pile that damage on, making it difficult to defend these inhibitors. Or see,
Undead Pilot, he is the carry, right? I mean, he's playing the Gadget, so the Gadget is going to be moving through on this safe lane. Looks like they're trying to get this early push versus Nick Eagle. Oh, I miss him on steal. Anyway, we'll have to go back over towards the mid. Obviously, Howitzer of Mort is going to be versus Yo, I'm Mikey on the Gideon again. Clickcast just roaming through the jungle, spreading his ward love around the world. Emrak. It is though. It's like, you got to spread that ward. You've just got to put it out and get it out there so you can see what's coming. It doesn't really work, but hey ho. See what one of the people I really want to see. Pardon me. See be quite effective is Oval Pixel. Sorry. He has that Sevarog as well. Seeing an impactful Sevarog today would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think we're going to say that sort of root dash ult combo to knock a backliner into your backline and really bursting there very quickly. So swingy in fights if you can pull it off correctly.
We're seeing a lot of of Greystone today as well. Actually, he's been quite a consistent pick. I know we've only had 2 games, but still, he's been quite a big pick. Oh no! Look at Moore. He's out of position. Chimera comes in potentially, but look, here we go. We were talking about the Sevarog. Is he going to be able to save his life? He doesn't. Almost does, but Shadon just pops in there and just pokes him with a stick. And look who else is going to go down as well, and that's going to be Johan Mikey taken out in an unfortunate position there. I think it just felt like he was out of position again in that river buff area, unfortunately for himself.
Yeah, that stun from Clearcast and very instrumental. This is what I'm saying about these CCs being, if you get a hard CC, you can sometimes, especially if you're such a squishy character, you just end up getting late. I mean, Greystone just came in and basically finished it up. So this got something you got to be aware of, so highly aware of nowadays, that the CCs can be a death of you.
We got 2 for 2 in terms of kills at the moment, so it's not too bad. Just waiting to see what's going to happen on this. Interested about the safe lane for Undead Pilot at the moment as well, and how well it's going to be going. And yeah, as my producer reminds me, which is something I've definitely got noted down here. Actually, haven't mentioned that these guys have scrimmed together significantly, and when I say significantly, I mean these 2 teams are probably in the EU the only teams that really scrim each other. And all those scrims, in my opinion, you can never really truly rely upon scrims to identify who's going to win a game, because still in scrims you have to hold something back. You have to hold tactics back, especially in a competitive area. Like, I know teams that, an enemy tower down to 6 minutes and 40 seconds as well is pretty massive. Although their effective carry, they've pushed their lane quite early, but she can go anywhere. She doesn't have to stick on this lane. But she is quite the fact that these guys have scrimmed, they know each other well. They still know how they play, potentially, their characteristics, potentially their rotations, because obviously they still want to win a scrim. But they will always hold something back as well, which is quite important for the teams to do. So obviously there's a lot of respect between these teams. And actually, because these teams scrim against each other quite a lot, you don't actually see teams like Oxygen getting scrim partners. So neither of these teams know really what's going on with Oxygen.
I mean, Oxygen have scrimmed. I know first because I've watched them that they have both scrimmed Carbon and Synergy.
Not as much as each
other, but I know they've at least scrimmed them. So, but the thing is, a lot of time in the scrims, they're not sort of just going out all out. Here's the comp that we've usually run. This is our set. They're experimenting with things. They're experimenting with cards, deck builds, etc. So you might see a sliver of what may happen in a game, but like you say, not all cards on the table.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's if you have regular scrims and then just every so often you're just scrimming against someone. It's
Nick Eagle in trouble here.
Needs to be very, very careful. Just gonna move over to his perspective.
Nice.
He's so low, but doesn't care. Again, this is where we see the Sevarog being so important, and he needs to get involved in those situations, and he does indeed. Actually, he's got his ult. He's going to be slowed down. The Quang is dead for sure. No one else is coming to the rescue, though.
That slow, so lethal. Knocking that ult off of Nick Eagle might seem like a good idea, but the slow it puts on you guarantees your death there. I mean, I doubt it'd have got out anyway, but with that on top of it, definitely not.
A risky push there. No real big wards around that area as well for them to be safe. But look at what's going on the other side of the map as well. Shadon comes out with a nice stun. His Undead Pilot going to be able to get the damage. We've seen a backup from Shadon to give the slow. Doesn't look like we're going to see a kill. Oh no, he's so low. Gets the stun off. Nice job. There comes the Murdoch to come in for the save. Look at that shield, but the mine gets taken out onto Narbash as well. Let's have a look, see what's going on in this fight. The Undead Pilot is just trying to run away here, to be honest, with the rest of those team members. Ace of Spades, nice route onto the tower. Is a Sevarog going to be able to get in front of him to push him back into the tower as well? And that's not going to happen. Nice stun from Shadon. The tower goes down as well. And Carbon, good movement from Carbon there. Getting out in the end. Picos comes back. I thought they were actually going to be taken out there. And as they're trying to take out wards, they're actually pushing back along this lane. This is fantastic work.
Yeah, Micah with that invis buff, but the ward knowing where it was, so just got chuck a cheeky missile to their face there, just to let him know we know where you are. Oh.
Stun onto Johan Mike.
Clearcast with the BM thunk, just yeah. Get out of my jungle.
See, if any of his team were there or around, they probably could have taken him out. But obviously, Yohan Mikey, knowing that he can fully get away with that behavior. So rude. So rude to the BM.
Click, that's just trying to assert dominance. Like, this is my jungle. You can believe him now.
He loves that stun. He's just throwing it out every so often. Just love it. Moving around.
Just showing, my stuns are on point.
Yeah, exactly.
Better be aware.
I'm not gonna admit. See, the stun counter for Narbash versus the Deca would actually be quite a fun thing to have.
Oh, I'd love to have those sort of stats. But I think you're already tracking enough stats to not.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe in the future. We'll definitely need a Richter pull rate as well, I think.
If we ask Narendra for it, he'll probably do it.
Yeah,
I reckon.
If there's any guy that can do it, it will be Narendra.
Go for all the games and see how many stuns we're on for each team and see the win-loss ratios. That'd be fantastic, especially at the moment in a CC heavy game. Okay,
so just trying to clear all these deep wards that Carbon have put into their jungle at the minute.
It's almost like, they're spending so much time doing that they're just been delayed in their farm around a movement, even rotation-wise around the map. But they've just got to offer that same, the ward perspective, I don't know, placement into the opposite team jungle. And needs to be careful here. They're taking a bit of their shrine as well right now. So they're able to grab part of their XP. I like that speed buff on the shrine, actually. Just, stealing that every so often is actually quite a nice thing to see. I've seen that before. Shadon as well as Undead Pilot, who's hiding on the side. Comes out here from Mort as well as they try to push this tower. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get much out of this. Although Nick Eagle just comes in from the side, pokes round, and that's a lot of damage coming onto him. Nice mine comes out from Mort, and that's going to push them away to save the life potentially of Nick. I do believe he had his ult, but still saving his ult is obviously quite important.
Yeah, the control of the mine on how it's one of the most key factors to how you play him. More so than any other ability. It uses initiator and prevention tool, so
that's very, very true indeed. Oh, a nice knockback. Interesting again. Look at the Narbash Clearcast just sitting on top, supporting his team. He got the nice stun there onto Undead Pilot, and I don't even think that Carbon eSports EU were aware of the Narbash standing up top, and Narbash was literally just standing there and he threw out his stun. Fantastic. And now they're on the chase for the Quang here as Nick Eagle is trying to get away. But look at the damage coming out onto Rustris. He gets away, and unfortunately, they're not going to pick up another kill, but Synergy, that is a one apiece there for the teams. Good work.
Good use from the portal there from...
that was both the carries, in inverted commas. In the very, very inverted commas of things. I mean, it's worth thinking about, as well, how close these guys are in actual card points.
I mean, under Pilot taking that carry role very seriously, being out in front on CXP at 18 points. Everyone else around 14, 15 mark. Clearcast on 13, but can be forgiven his support. Shadow on 14, so no great disparities just yet.
So is this Undead Pilot's message to Epic to maybe change the descriptions of heroes? Maybe, you never know.
That might just be, his way of saying that. Give me a character, I'll be good on him.
Yeah, I can carry the game with no matter what I play. Exactly, even if he's like just a tank, you can just carry. Although you can really think about it in that way. I mean, even Steel earlier with Synergy, he carried that game in a way. So it's how you use that phrase of carry as well, but. Obviously, at the moment, like Nate said, things are fairly even in terms of card XP, but no real tower damage coming out onto Carbon.
Carbon are still putting into this jungle.
Here we go. Something rocking off over on the midpoint. Nick Eagle could be out of position here. Are they going to jump in? They're just going to use some range damage here. Nick is the frontliner, so it's going to be fine. They're away. They don't want to Carbon EU very, very aware of what's going on and the positioning of the enemy team. I think they could have maybe got something out of that. Thing is, all frontliners mid. Emrak is going to be pushing this left lane. Just wants to farm up and get into a position to catch up with the gadget. She's doing the same over on this safe lane of Synergy, actually pushing the lane right back, knowing they've got that tower down. Yeah,
when your foe carries 4 card points in front of their actual carry, your strategy seems to be working. So
that's true. It's taking out those jungle minions as well. Sorry, go. What were you
just interested to see what he builds into early. If he's just going to build full glass cannon on this gadget and go for all damage. I know he's built in a little bit of mana regen with this Solaris reactor and a quartz blade for another bit of mana regen and health. So I want to see what his full build is. I'm be interested to see.
Whatever he wants to do, he wants to celebrate Christmas in style with that skin. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Look at the positioning here of the again of the Sevarog, who's really moving in for the kill and trying to pick up this. Oh no, he gets blocked up by the fence. Undead Pilot as well is going to be taken out here. That's fantastic grouping and synergy from this Russian team. Boom, got that in there. But it's a fantastic way to call it. You know, they're on point there. They group up. It feels like almost sometimes they're so far apart that you're not going to be able to predict a team fight evolving. But on this map being so small, actually Mort needs to be careful. Slow bubble comes out as well.
Very nice evade from that rock.
That was good. Are they going to get the tower here? I think Mort needs to move away. He does start to move away now as well, especially with Rustress coming up from behind. Needs to be aware of that. Don't want to be caught unawares there, and he does move away. Are they going to go for the cheeky kill here? Look at Ace. Three-man drop off. Nice route from the Sevarog. Ult comes out as well. Might have been a bit too much, really, just to take out the Chimera. Unfortunately, he does miss as well. Nice knockback comes out, and that's going to be him done and dusted.
Yeah, that's what we've been looking for from the Sevarog players all day. That route into a dash, into a knockback into the back line, just to get that, finish that damage off.
They did use a lot of ults just for him though, but by the time they get back and involved, it feels like they're going to be off cooldown again anyway, because nothing's erupting anytime soon. I
mean, if you take the jungle off, if you take the enemy jungle off the table, it means you're definitely safe in your jungle, and you are free to invade theirs as well. Get those wards in, which I think Under Pilot is looking at doing now.
So in their positioning at the moment, let's look at Howitz and Mort is going to move over to mid, clear this lane up. Clear cast as well, moving into just surveying the situation. Undead, pardon me, and Yo Mikey over on this midpoint as well, on the mid lane, sorry. And it's just calmed down again. There's a kill occurs, a miniature team fight maybe in a gank, and then they move back off into the map and get back to the farming game. So it's not so I really feel like, you know, I'm almost not watching Synergy.
Yeah,
does that ring true with you? Or just because you know that they had
the discipline in maintenance of their lanes is much better now, but when the group fights kick off, they are really quick to react and quick to sort of collapse on anyone who caught out of position.
Because this is definitely, like, in terms of the play that they had in Legacy, this map is definitely more towards that.
Oh, definitely.
But they're still, because of the minions and the power that can come through. Look at another route, and I don't think he's missed one yet. Overplex. Mike, I picked so
very good blink there by Micah.
That was fantastic work as we move it back into the mid. They do get out unscathed to a degree, but they are grouped, ready to potentially move. There's so many wards out actually for this Carbon team at the moment. Actually, yeah, it's the same for Synergy as well. They've quite good coverage. Yeah, they've not got vision on the whole map at the moment, so this is not too bad for the teams at the moment.
It sounds so. Oh, they've not got vision on the whole map, which, you know, to sort of casual players like myself and you, that's like, we're doing really well, but for them, like, it should just be it's just a thing, you know.
It's just a one-off.
They're so used to it, aren't they? Yeah. So
it's just like, yep, I got this ward. I'm going to put it here. I know where their team is. I know where their jungle is. I know if we're going to get ganked. I know if I can do this, that, the other without getting killed, or, you know, out of position to potentially, you know, join a team fight as well. And I think, you know, we've seen Oval Pixel now playing a pretty good Sevarog. We've seen him in the right positions at the right time, taking those routes. I don't think we've really seen him miss a route many times.
No, it's really good secure rate currently. Yeah. So I just want to see how he's doing on his stacks. If you can see these shoulder pads. He's got his sort of junior shoulder pads on now, so we can tell he's still managing. It's so good because if you get into the game and you haven't got those stacks, you're missing a lot of health, you're missing a lot of damage, because they tend to build them a lot more tanky and rely on those stacks to give you your damage. That if you then miss on them, you just sort of there for the CCs, but you can't really follow up with the damage. So good to see he's on point with that as well.
So he's kind of in that nursery area of things in terms of the shoulder pads. He's upgrading to primary school or junior school or whatever. Oh, Clearcast is caught out of position. Quang's going to move on him. He tries to get out with the speed boost, but that's not going to be enough. And Clearcast is going to be taken out first of all over towards the mid area. Synergy being a bit too relaxed in that area there, unfortunately, as they're in the jungle. And Carbon take advantage of that more passive play from Synergy.
Yeah, Carbon have been putting down a lot of wards into Synergy's safe side, or supposedly safe side of their jungle, looking for those picks, and they got that one there. They're really good stun. Team followed up very quickly and just got straight back out again.
They're going for these shields again as well. They've got Honor the Pure on their frontliner and their support at the moment. So looking to see if they build that later on their more damage-oriented heroes.
Yeah, we're seeing Rustros picking up the Honor the Pure as well. Probably going to see it out of Undead and Shadow probably as well, I should imagine.
I mean, it's great for those situations. I mean, even just in that situation just then, I'm sure Clearcast would have popped that off, but yeah. Well, unfortunately, he died, but you know, he tried. I mean, that's. Actually, I don't think he did use it. I can't see it now. But hey ho, I think it's been a while, so maybe it might have come back. Now they're just pushing. They're holding in the mid. It's weird. It's like it's kind of not as fast paced as I expected, but I think that's because they want to make sure that they don't lose it. This is a big game. I mean, for both Carbon and mid tower's gone down 21 minutes into the game. Oh no. My game has gone backwards. Oh, it's okay. It's all good. It just stopped for a moment. It's okay. I just thought.
I just want to. Zorke, you are a legend. $300 put into the Matcherino fund.
What?
What a guy! I think he's single-handedly trying to fund the Paragon eSports side of things. Yeah, what a guy! Thank you. Just thank you so much. I'm sure all the players definitely appreciate that as well. So
that's amazing, dude.
Guys, if you want to pick him up in chat, Zork, dropping the big 300 on the Matcherino.
Buy that guy a beer from me. Cheers, dude. That's really appreciated.
I mean, I know the players have been an invitational. The players wanted to, have somewhere to show off, but the skills. But now there's a real substantial prize pool for them to win. So I'm thinking, taking it a little bit more serious than they were before.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we were talking about, actually. It actually fits in quite well, and how important this game actually is in this group. The two best teams really in this group, you could say, and everyone jumps onto Clearcast potentially, but Yoro and Mikey actually gets taken out there as they start to move back away, and they gain themselves another cheeky little kill onto this Carbon EU side, who are just losing people every so often. But it's not as if it's one-sided. It's happening on both ends of the scale, but it is 7 kills in favor of the Synergy team at the moment.
Yeah, so while these team fights look to be really like, oh god, everyone's going to die here, maybe getting 1 or 2 picks and that's it, and everyone's disengaging safely, which is
it's weird. Because I'm actually a massively hyped caster, but I'm really cautious about how excited I get. Like, this is probably the most passive I've actually ever been in a cast, because sometimes it's like a kill, then it's over so quickly, and then they just move away. It doesn't bounce onto something else. So it's actually pretty interesting.
This is the play we're used to seeing from Carbon. The roaming, maybe pick up a kill, go back to lane, maintain his lane, but not so much from Synergy. I'd like to see them go back to the strong points where they're grouping and just sort of mowing through the team one by one, catch them out of position.
I missed that. But it doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that it's awesome to watch. I think, the caution, and now obviously the extra money going into that pool is something that obviously...
Pixel needs to be careful, he could get caught here.
I think he's just going for full-on damage. Look at... Oh no! Undead Pilot's in there as well. We see the Greystone of Nick Eagle trying to get involved, and we do see, of course, Shadow just popping that fence down, and he's going to be able to get out unscathed in the end. Good job from the team as they... he's just going to back there as well, of course. Quang and...
in the other games, that probably would have resulted in a kill for either teams, but now when they're against them,
I think they just don't risk going in for the final hits, you know, because of the potential worry that they will lose ground on the map. I really feel like that's what's happening.
Yeah, it feels like one of them games that if a team gets 2 picks in quick succession, it could really snowball really quickly thereafter. I think it's just sort of finely balanced at the minute where both teams are very cautious, knowing that the momentum could swing one way or the other very quickly.
Okay, so now obviously we see Rustrus just with the opportunity to grab that gold buff as the T2 tower over on side of Synergy. They've got to be careful about those minions, man, nipping down that lane. Chewing on that tower.
Yeah, as I say, it'll either be a team fight that decides this, or just someone just not maintaining a lane and crushing through just T2 into an inhibitor, basically.
That's so true. It's absolutely true.
It just feels like one of those games which the Winions may win it.
Or even just like it might just be because they're being so passive and cautious that it might just be that passivity that actually costs them as well. That they don't go in for a big team fight that they could potentially win, and maybe, you know, robbing themselves of a win because they're being so cautious, because it is. And now at the moment over on this mid area, it feels like maybe Synergy could be starting to group up for something here as we see Obor and Moore just grouping up to take out wards, and that's it.
They've been so good on the warding of the enemy jungle.
But look at Synergy now. Their warding of their own jungle is starting to improve now as we move through the... Interesting to just see a map. I'm not sure how many times it would be interesting, but just to see how the wards get placed out in the map as well, just appearing and disappearing, because now they've got a lot of vision in this kind of lower mid area. Yeah, which is good. I think that's really needed, because especially for that kill on Clearcast that we saw earlier, I think that kind of thing, just if they're going to nip into the jungle, grab a green camp, that the Carbon aren't able to take advantage of that fully now, but maybe they'll be quite ballsy with that. We'll have to see. Mikey just taking out those minions over on this mid lane.
Both teams really quite passive right now. Nothing, not a lot to get the hype with. And we need Clearcast or Nick Eagle basically to go diving in somewhere, basically.
They're just trying to get their fun. I mean, let's have a look at the card XP as well. I mean, it's still fairly even.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need someone. I mean, Mikey's picked up this invis buff, but I think he's picked it up more sort of a defensive movement rather than. But I want someone.
Undead's a bit of
like Oval Pixel or someone to pick it up for that aggressive attack on them.
Oh. I mean, Undead is actually ahead in terms of card XP as well by 3 points.
Clearcast nearly predicted where Mikey was going to teleport to, and if the range had been longer, would have hit him as he exited the teleport. Just showing you that Clearcast stuns are on point.
Oh, here we go. No, potentially not.
Okay,
it's just as something's about to erupt. Here we go. Are they're taking the wards out so they can actually go for orb and obviously make sure that if their chance is there to do it later. Look at everyone's starting to group around here, but Synergy are a bit late to the party. Although Yoran Mikey is on the other side of the map. It's just again to make sure that the wards are taken out. The wards are taken out, the positioning, but look, Carbon still have the wards there available. Undead Pilot can just move in and stick down his damage, and they're gone. They're done and dusted. So
yeah, I think that's as we're coming up to the 36-minute mark is when the waves get to their largest, and if you leave it, that's when it can be a real problem, basically, because I think. So at 36 minutes, you get 6 melees and 2 range, which, if left, can do some real damage onto towers. So I think that's when we see things may start to speed up if the teams just keep sort of posturing off against each other.
I mean, I don't normally talk about what other people are saying, but our producer makes a good point about the fact that at the moment they're probably getting more CXP off wards than they are off of enemy heroes, which is a very good point. It's true. I'd love to see how much they've got out there. I mean, blimey. Let's have a look on this right-hand lane again. A safe lane for Emrak, who's just clearing the lane at the moment. There's nothing else massively exciting going on in the map at the moment, other than Clearcast currently over on the mid lane with Mort, who's just defending against Rustrus and Mikey. And so they move back over to maybe think about... They're thinking about an orb, or his Rostros is just banking. It doesn't matter. Actually, I feel like over on this safe lane for this Synergy team, they could pick out Undead Pilot if they wanted to. Easily. They're on the roll. They're on the move. Oh, yes, nice route there. They're going to see some damage and kills, please. Undead Pilot and Shadow are going to move away, but he's got his ult, and he's also got the... we're going to see a nice ult coming out from a clear cast there. He's not going to be able to get out of this. Surely he's going to be dead, and even Mort wants to pull out the ult, but he misses that. And unfortunately, even clear cast goes down, and Carbon are back on the prowl. They're coming to the rescue of their team. Rustress is running away so hard. Nice ult coming out from Undead Pilot. They don't care about the actual tower damage coming out, and they take out Rustress here as well. And they move out from the tower, and how many kills apiece? Oh, we saw 2 kills onto Carbon there, and Synergy win out in terms of damage. But I don't think is Johan Mikey, has he had enough of this? He has. He's moving back.
A fight! I'm so happy.
Oh my god! Yeah, I could get excited about something.
Yeah, Synergy looking for that. You know, I think they'd had enough of the laning phase and just wanted to basically.
Look at Ace though. He almost got that tower down. Ace of Spades. Oh no, he's down! It just went down. So they actually got a tower out of that. A T1 tower.
Yeah, and I think
they got a T1 tower. Out of it.
T2 tower gone down on the left-hand side there for Synergy. Yeah. So I think Carbon, even though they lost 2 people there, I think they'll see that as a fair trade because it was breaching that stalemate now. So to get that T2, they've got a route through onto inhibitor now where they can say, right, we can set the lanes and try and push that instead of just sort of posturing back and forwards in mid lane, which has been happening a lot.
So good stuff as we've seen them moving back over towards this mid lane.
Let's have a look at the CXP and a few of the builds. Bubble tap. Interesting.
I think at this stage, even as a test in the game and whatnot, and thinking about what's useful and what's not, I still think that there's so much different stuff that can be used here, and that we're not going to hear about or until we see it in games from top tier competitive players. Even they won't even talk about it on the streams because they don't want to talk about things that can be so surprising. It's just the best. It's just logical. You don't talk about that kind of stuff before you go into a tournament. And if you do, you're doing it wrong. So there you go. I'm just telling you, that's just the truth.
I'm just looking at the shield count right now. So Carbon have now got 3 on the Pures, a Barrier of the Will, whereas Synergy have got a Bubble Tap and 2 on the Pures. So Carbon actually winning in the shield off, as it were.
Okay.
And we're seeing a lot. The pro teams now are starting to see this. That's a survivability mechanism they're building into their team fights.
Whereas we used to see the health, whereas we first of all saw the armor, then we saw the health more generated at meta in terms of sustain. Now we're seeing more of a shield because obviously having that, it's almost like an instant health bar, a bit like bump juice, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, that instant bump of health or bump of shield or whatever you want to call it.
Synergy able to pick up all 3 Raptors for free there.
Nice.
Yeah, Carbon came to sort of contest it, but by the time all 3 had been killed, so some nice.
I can pull him back. Did Murdoch come back? He did. Emrak is 2 points now. Sorry, behind Undead Pilot. It's actually come back quite well now.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 CXP behind at one point. So
the thing is, it's like the spike damage that would come out from Synergy later on. When they have a team fight from the Murdoch, from even more or as well, and then Obel is going to be intense. Like it's not going to be as good from Undead Pilot. It's not like he's got a massive amount of punch. It's more like that sustained massive damage, which is also very good, but more of in an AOE impacted area, of course.
I tend to disagree, but I think it's the other way around, whereas your ADCs are pushing out that consistent strong damage, whereas your casters are giving you, if you take a Q from both
they're going for the orb
or a gadget, that's where you're going to take a lot of damage there.
True. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Mort, indeed. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
With him and Mimrak, but where are they going?
It's on the other side of the map. I don't think we're going to see any antics from him.
Is he gonna? The rest of the team, they have to contest. Are they actually just gonna move fully out?
Well, no, Carbon think
that's good.
Better of it. I just want to point out that Obel Pixel has now moved through puberty, he's just moving into college, almost getting to that full-time job stage.
This is good stuff. Yeah,
He's
exactly.
done well to pick up those stacks. He's done. He's really well farmed now. So
163 at the moment, or it's 163 I've got on my screen anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Like maybe we can have different opinions on this for sure. But I do feel like the longer the game goes on, the more impactful MRAC is just going to be if it can pull off. Especially, I mean, I know with alt later game, you know that these fights are going to be so close that that's not going to be as useful. But
Pix are just stealing the black buff underneath Rust. Just there, tried to get the root and get the buff, but
they're going for him again. Ace is going to be going for this as well as Rustrous here, trying to take this Orb Prime. Undead Pilot is he's just watching because he can plant so much AoE pressure in that doorway. I actually kind of like this.
Yeah, Rustrous on that Quang with a passive lifesteal that also gives it to the Chimera on top of his own lifesteal. Gives him really good sustain against this.
Oh, look, the ult coming out. Oh, wow. Ace of Spades just gets absolutely obliterated. Cheeky kill. And now they can move in or just pull out. I mean, they could get if they can get another kill onto Carbon here, they could really go for this, and this could be a big game changer. 35 minutes into this game, 36 now, between Carbon, EU, and Synergy in the most passive game I've seen on the left today.
I'm going to say all the life regen in the world is not going to save you when the enemy can take you from full to 0 in about half a second. So
there is that.
Ace of Spades getting straight deleted there. Clearcast on point with those dunks again.
Yeah, he's
didn't miss one yet.
We've seen the people who do have those singular stuns. The Deckers and the Narbashers have been fantastic with their stuns. It's actually the Roots from the Severogs that we haven't seen. I'm not talking about right now Obel Pixar, but the other ones we've seen today haven't been as on point as Obel Pixar at the moment.
Yeah, we're just getting to that 36-minute mark now, so you can actually see on your map where these minion waves are getting really large. And if one team sort of fails to see the slow push set by another team, those problems with the tech towers so quickly. Okay,
so middle pushing now as well. And when you say your 36-minute mark, I'm on 37. So I might be a little tiny bit ahead of you at the moment. We are on this mid lane, having a look at more. He's just defending minions.
Undead Pilot could get caught here.
Indeed. Nice knockback from Obel Pixar. Damage comes in from Rustrous. They're going to push they're going to push Severog away. Oh, wow! He blinks out as well, and that's going to be a kill onto Undead Pilot. He's so squishy. And that impact, that's what I mean. It's just a combination of the squishiness as well. He needs to stay alive to make sure his damage output is going to be realized so heavily. And they pick out a nice kill onto Undead. And that's MRAC, who now pushes far. I do feel like this could be a reason that they might lose this game, not having the carry. I don't know.
I think it's probably due more to Synergy being a little bit more aggressive. I think both teams.
They definitely are, just a tiny tad.
I think Synergy are maybe getting tired of this sort of passive route. Just try and get a little bit of a power spike if you can, and then push and get the picks.
Okay. Amazing stuff coming out now as well. Who was the person you said made a donation earlier?
It was Zorky.
Zorky, okay. I just responded late to a message, so I'm sorry about that. But again, thank you very much. To support the community-based tournaments are the thing that pushes things into an esports area. Community being interested in tournaments, supporting tournaments, watching tournaments, viewership, donations, all this stuff gets games into an esports position, unless there is another way. But this is the best way, in my opinion. And the community is awesome. You guys are awesome, and Zorky is awesome as well. So thank you very much for the donations. As well, over on the mid lane now, just more is very, very mobile, especially around that mid area. Oh no! Could see Obel Pixar actually get caught out. I didn't feel that, especially with the amount of damage they get out. Gadget plants down, or Undead Pilot does. Plants down his speed gate to get them out of there as well. And Nick Eagle just running into the Orb Prime area. Again, they're hovering around. Yo, Mikey and the rest of the team of Carbon do just defend mid to try and push it out. Massive amount of grouping coming out from Synergy on this safe lane.
Click has just did he just use his ult on a wave there? Yeah, I believe it did. Yeah, I believe it did. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. When it gets past the 36-minute mark, where the waves start to become really dangerous if left unattended.
Here we go, boys. Over on the midpoint, we can see something coming out. Rush just in the front line. Nice route comes out onto Nick Eagle. Sorry, not onto Nick Eagle. Sorry, Rush just there. We do see. Oh my God, the burst is coming out onto Mort. Thankfully, as it has his ult to potentially get out of that, and we do see the ult coming out from Yo Mikey, and even just the chain pulling him back in takes him down there. But Mikey should go down here as well, as Oval Pixar is in the middle of that team to take on the damage. Oh, is he gonna be able to save?
Emrak.
Is he going to be able to save him here? Emrak, again. Is that Emrak who picked up a few of those kills? I was just focusing on the
snipe there on Gadget.
There we go, man.
I thought she was out, and then she wasn't.
I mean, if we look at stats between the two carries, again, in inverted commas...
Shadow has to be careful.
Oh, no.
That's a definite Prime now. They must go and move on Prime now.
That's 4 deaths. Done and dusted. Again,
I mean, they've got the guys here to do it, to take the damage and to do the damage.
Rostress isn't a steal, that's for sure. I know he can steal it. I mean, he needs to. But that's good by Pixar as he goes into. Yeah, good job. And with the root as well. Oh no way, he's too low. He's too low to go in for the contest on this. No, he doesn't even get the kill, and that's a 4 team wipe onto Carbon EU. The Russians are coming, boys. The Russians are coming. And they've just taken Prime Orb. That's Emrak getting the last hit on that to push over towards their towers. They need to push the lanes now to get an inhib down because it's fully doable. They've still got the Quang down for 60 seconds. They've got Deckard. It is doable, but they need to push these lanes to do it. And they're not actually that pushed currently. Maybe... No, they aren't even. They're still back right on their safe lane here.
I don't think that was a called thing, you know, let's push lane.
No.
I think it was like, that was a sheer opportunity where, like, you know, we can take this now, get the CXP, get the buff off it, and then we'll worry about lanes after, because they weren't pushed in either, so they're just doing a bit of tidying.
Yeah. I think that's my wanton desire to potentially do that as well, coming out. As we hit 42 minutes, I think this is going to be the longest game we've had so far, 3 games.
Definitely.
And we are looking to see whether or not Carbon... That means the catch-up is fully on, and I would expect Emrak, who is on 60 card points, to take the lead against Undead Pilot, especially with the kill coming out. Now has 4 kills and 1 death. The Pilot 3 to 4 deaths now as well. He does have that shield as well, so don't forget that when he's got that shield, obviously he's got a little less damage coming out. I don't think it's the idea is that he's going to be our main damage dealer. I don't think there is a...
Finally see the mid tier 1 tower go down on 42 minutes.
You could have walked up to that and just kind of arched your leg in a way towards it and just could have taken that thing down at this point in time.
42 minutes into the game. We've only got 1 T2 down. I mean,
we need to
got a little bit of damage in the mid one, but that's
here we go. I think this is the synergy coming out that we've
been waiting for.
Know. Yeah, either waiting for or used to know. But the thing is, the Pacific has won them out a bit at the moment. That blatant zone out there from Undead Pilot onto Emrak.
We know you're there.
Just go away, mate. It's not happening.
Rather sort of standing off. Oval Pixel is pushing this lane up. I'm not sure if left lane is pushing.
They've still got AWP. They've still got it. They are going to take advantage of it. They do in the end. I feel like it's going to go off as soon as they get onto the tower. Oh, it does. Oh no, it doesn't. They've still got the orb indeed. Many minions are on the tower currently. And it gets taken down to... Oh my god, well. You know, that's the thing. You need to watch out now as they start to push back out. No one else. Everyone is in this area of the map currently as well. So we'll have to see whether or not they can pull anything out of this. Now, at the moment, the lanes are actually pushed quite in the favour of Carbon as well. So they need
Carbon
to be
all up on these ledges.
They're going to lose that T2. Oh, look at the mid lane for Synergy though. I'm really worried about this, but I'm not. But I'm actually very happy as well as we see nice blink movement out there from Pixar as they get onto this inhib and they bring the damage. Mikey pulls out the ult, but he's going to get interrupted out of that. Several is pulling off a fantastic game. and that is a good job from Oval to get them out of that. Oh, and that is going to be Emrak dead as well, and that's an extremely important kill. And they're trying to pick out another one potentially onto Ace of Spades, but I feel like Clearcast could go down. I actually feel like they could lose multiple members of Synergy if they don't back off from this.
How did Ace of Spades get out there?
I don't know. I don't think they wanted to be too aggressive with that.
This mid lane push could end in an inhibitor.
They need to move back quickly. He's got his... Oh. Has to use the charge away. Oh, misses the stun.
I was waiting for Obel Pixar to dash in and sort of root someone and get behind him and knock him out.
There we go. It was a plan. Apparently Synergy can have foresight. Unfortunately, not enough foresight to keep Emrak alive. Which is a pretty important that he was kept alive there. Carbon EU pulling out the kill onto the carry is quite important in that specific occasion. Of course, it doesn't matter. It does matter, of course, but Emrak is at 60 points, so he doesn't have to worry about his farm. But of course, taking the carry out of that fight, who is the significant amount of their damage, is pretty big right now as well. So as we move back out into the map, lanes get pushed back out for Synergy. Like you said, the stack building for this Sevarog on the team of Synergy as well. This Oval Pixar is fully fledged as he reaches almost 250 now.
Old man Sevarog.
Old man Sev. He's got the damage though. So, there's something to be said about being older.
I'm going to see some quite heavy ward placement as Carbon are sort of trying to push the lanes out, but keep vision on this OP for when it comes up, because both teams are going to want to take that.
Clearcast does ult the wave again as well, like you were saying before. Just picked up on that again.
Yeah, his wave clear not the best, so sometimes having to rely on that ult just to clear the waves out.
I mean, he's got his another 50 seconds in this game specifically at the moment. It almost feels like half the time you aren't going to see something evolve within that time, and they'll base it around hopefully their ults as well. Obviously, the team Synergy, they're one of the best teams in the game in the world. Are we going to see the Russians coming in again for the potential kill over on? I feel like they're grouping for Undead Pilot at the moment, which is probably why they moved away. Actually, sensing some kind of gank coming out there. Actually, Undead does start to back right there. I was literally about to say, dude, really? They can trudge down that hill so quickly. Root from... as I don't even know if he's missed a route today or Pixar. He could trudge down there at range, get that route, and he could have taken him out.
I mean, with that blink charge, he's got an awful long range. It can blink, charge, route, and definitely catch someone unaware.
Exactly. So let's see what's going to happen now as we reach almost the 50-minute point of this game between Team Synergy and Carbon EU. And this is an important game. I mean, you can tell there's a good reason for this kind of play at the moment. This is if you win the two games in your group, I should say, then you will be the winner of that group more than likely, and you will be, and you will be, and you'll be able to go up against the runner-up of the other group, which it should be a game. It should be best of 3, best of 1, whatever that you can actually take. So you want to get that position. You want to be in that winner kind of bracket. It's almost like a winner bracket, but not really.
Both teams are really just sitting so far deep into their map right now. It's strange, because especially from Synergy, I'm really waiting for him to group up and.
Will we see some more aggressive play coming out from these teams later today? We'll have to wait and see. Around the Prime Orb as well, they're starting to ward up as it is going to respawn fairly soon.
Yeah, look how many ward, 1, 2, 3, 4, all around,
well.
all for Carbon around that prime area. They're definitely going to see synergy coming if they move in on that.
It's like Christmas around the all prime area. I mean, I know they've put the lights in, but maybe Carbon EU.
So disappointed that the all prime wasn't wearing a Santa's hat. I'm going to be honest with you.
That would have been an awesome addition.
Yeah, they put that ward down now and just realised it's surrounded by wards.
It's going to take him about half an hour to clean his wards out, unfortunately. There we go. On the Murdoch's on it. Traps being placed as well.
Synergy looking to take this prime.
Murdoch's... Yeah, Imrak is going for the solo on this. He's got some... I'm not sure about this. Clearcast as well on the side is going to try and stop any action. Shadon comes in with that, of course. Oh, that's a fantastic ult from Mort. That's a brilliant Mort ult. Must be able to combine that somehow. But the damage comes in. Undead Pilot. Shadon goes down as well. And if they get this with lanes pushed, they're not all pushed again. Oh no, mid is. They could easily get the orb and go mid lane. This would be fantastic as 3 members are dead. Yoan, Mikey, and Rustrus currently are the only members of the team left on the map. Yoan, Mikey thinking about what he's going to do to try and do something about this orb. But I think it's going to be down and taken before they can get any situation of trying to get the steal here. No, they're not really in the place to do it. There's Nick. He's going to be the final hitter of the orb, and they're going to move over towards this mid tower. Surely, if they're not careful, this could actually be a winning game move just on a lane. They need to be careful themselves. I know there are lanes pushed. There's just one on that left side. So they just need to watch out for Team Synergy on their safe lane. It should be an easy. It's an easy in here, but it should be an easy.
Yeah, they're probably going to look to finish here.
It's got to be an easy win here for this team of Synergy, and that's it. Did you see that from Mort though? That ult was fantastic. Oh look, it comes out from Yoan, Mikey, but no, Mort comes out from the sky and plots him in the face with a rocket, which ends the game. Not that rocket to his face, but the kill and then the core dying is obviously something that happened. Awesome game in the end. It was very, very, very chilled, is all I'm going to say. Because I think it was almost one of those games when you're on the edge of your seat and you're like, what's going to happen now? Is the shark going to come out of the water and kill the person? Or is it just going to sit there and wait? And it's almost like that, you know, and just waiting for that moment to occur. And you're like, he's going to go. He's not. Is he going to get the gank here? Are we going to see the orb? But I think, you know, that prime at that point of the game was just, they had their lanes pushed as well, thankfully mid, and they could just take it. No, it's good stuff, Nate.
Sorry, I'm a bit worn out there. It was a.
I think it was a bit of a draining game. I wonder what it was. It must
for the teams, yeah, definitely.
It's the
like a legacy game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It did.
Like a legacy game.
I think that was actually longer than a lot of competitive legacy games as well.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot, but you know, mid-tier kind of high tier versus mid-tier. I guess like in a high tier kind of state of play, those legacy games went on for a lot longer. But yeah, you keep below us. You should be able to see exactly what is going on with our standings and how the team's doing. Next, we will have an interview actually. Yeah, next. I'm not sure who our producer said though. Material again.
Material again.
I've missed him. I think I've missed him. Hopefully you didn't hear that I missed him. Oh, I did. Sorry. So are we just going to be talking to you every single time you play? I mean, afterwards.
He's hoping so.
I think so. Congratulations, dude. By the way, obviously.
Thank you, guys.
Very good job. In the terms of like us casting that game, we were thinking, you know, every time we saw a potential for an engagement coming up, we were thinking, are they going to go for it this time? The old Synergy, it felt like you would have gone for a lot more aggressive play. You were very, very passive for how you normally would play, especially even after the first game. But in comparison to Carbon as well, even. Did you feel that in the game, or?
No. We trying to control all the situation on the map. We know that in the late game we're more stronger. That is why we play extremely passive. We know how Carbon EU play style, and we actually were ready for this.
So how do you feel about the fact that, you know, they didn't really have in the classic sense, the proper carry? You know, you have Emrak on the Murdoch, and how much did that impact them? Do you feel it was a game changer, or do you feel that at the moment that's possible? It's difficult. I mean,
Yeah, it's difficult, but we actually don't really want to play with two mages because it's easy to counter with ability armor on each character in the game.
Right. Okay.
We actually have 5 guys with ability armor, and no one can hold you with basic attack. So I think it's a bit risky strategy.
Okay. And Honor the Pure. I love that. Just look at your team and again, and it's just like they're going for it, boys. So the Russians aren't coming. The Russians have come. The Greek stage, and they have dominated the league. Great.
We're here, guys. We're already here.
They're here. They've owned, and they're going home, and they're done. That's it. You've got the 2 wins you needed, and now we need to see what. I mean, this has been good tournament so far. How did you feel about that game generally? Did it go on quite long for you? Was it quite strained, or?
It was hard for us. Well, for some reason it was hard. So we feeling pressure from the other side, and we. Oh, holy shit! I can't describe it.
Yeah.
I think. Go on then.
It definitely felt as the game went on, it was sort of who pulled the trigger first, where you both looked like you were gathering. If you could get that pick and snowball that momentum, that you would go on to do something. And you pulled the trigger, and you, I think it was on the right hand side, the T2 tower. You decided, right, we're gonna try and push for something here, and it paid off. Yeah. So we're waiting for that aggression that we usually see from Team Synergy to come out. And
not in the legacy. It's so risky to be aggressive. You can load the ore prime immediately if you threw the game after the 25 minutes, I guess, and it's so easy to lose. We know it from the scrims, so we know how it's work. So we're trying to be passive a bit.
No, but
maybe in best of 3 series we can try some stuff.
I think we've seen a new evolution of your team just in this tournament today. I mean, a bit of even. Would you say that even in the recent weeks that you've played, that today is quite a different play style for you guys, or it is? Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to adapt to the new meta or something like that because we want to win. We want to be the best.
Well, so far in Group A, you are.
Yeah.
So there we go. We've got to see how well Group B does. I mean, it'd be nice to see your predictions for Group B in terms of the rest of the games.
I think we will play against Nexus, and I want to 2-0. And then meet the
you just want a 2-0. You just want to win everything. You don't want to lose a game, do you? You don't want to drop a game at all. Oh, the Russians are just storming through.
Wanna lose? Holy shit! Everybody wants.
But lose, it's losing a game. But yeah, no, that's it. Just want absolute annihilation. Okay, we're done with. I think we're going to move on from the interview now as well. But thank you very much, dude, for joining us. Congratulations today, dude.
Thank you.
It's good to cast you guys finally. I've not got to cast Synergy as of yet, and it was a pleasure to see you. Also, smashing all on the Prime Orb at the end. There you go. There's a compliment for you. I don't normally compliment people that much, but I was nice today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, dude. Also, to Carbon as well, thank you very much for the game. You played extremely well. I think, it's just one of those moments where, that team fight, if you're on the wrong end of things, just unfortunately, they lost the game off of that single point in time. We were building up to that one major point as well for quite a long time, for approximately 55 minutes. Okay, we're going to move on to our next game, which is actually going to be Team America versus Team Oxygen, I believe. I don't think we're taking a break as of